is Jonah Floyd. My age is 11. I like to code. Coding means to me making building blocks that will program, add to something else to make something else do it.
You've had an opportunity to try out a lot of different programming languages, a lot of different ways. Can you tell me what is your #1 favorite programming language?
Python.
Python. Okay. Why is Python one of your favorites?
Because whenever I figured it out, it excited me. I use Scratch. I still do, but my favorite is Python. And so Scratch is making these building blocks that are different colors. And so that's pretty much that's part of this code thing to make, I don't know what this is, but that's just what it's to make. You put them all together and then you run the code, it runs it through, see what happens, fix the bugs.
That sounds a lot different from Python. That sounds like you've got these little modules you can move around. Do you enjoy doing that too?
I do.
Okay. Is that easier for you to do? Or?
Just a tiny bit.
Oh, okay.
It's not really, but I think Python's a little bit more advanced, easy. Not really easy, but it's more of a older version of that.
So when you're doing Python, so I used to love doing things in the console. I still do. And the console is just that command line, that we use. I used to like that better than working in an IDE. So Scratch is what's an IDE. It's a developer interface, right? And it kind of makes things a little easier for you to drag and drop and stuff. But when you're in the console, all you do is type, right?
Yeah, type.
Which one do you like better? Do you like that kind of the IDE thing where you're dragging and dropping stuff, or do you like typing?
I like type.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger, I would always feel. In fact, I didn't really have many IDEs, but I would always feel like I was a hacker, getting away with something as I typed on the console, even though it was just like a print line, That's kind of fun. Is that the way you feel, or is there something different?
I just whenever I found it, I was really excited, so I'm I wanted to do this more.
So tell me a little more about that. So
I want to learn more.
Yeah. So when you say I want to learn more, I want to do this more, why? Why do you want to do that? What is it?
I just want to learn more about it.
You remember a long time ago, when I think you were 5 or so, we built a game in Java. And you remember that? You remember the game? Tell me about that game just a little bit.
Okay, so it was like this. Crossy Roads, how it has the cars, but instead we chose to do.
We called that Frog Road when I was a kid.
So we would use a turtle. The turtle would have to get across from the road, but then the cars would be coming unpredictable ways, and you gotta use the I think it was the arrow keys. And so whenever he gets smashed, then it make this. It sound like it will make a very.
So how did we
sound.
put that together? Do you remember any specifics about it? You remember we kind of made the audio, we made the music.
Yeah, by scrolling through a bunch of different things.
Yeah, and you remember you recorded the sounds for the squishing sound, and so I know. Well, that's not this AAA title like Halo or something like that. That's something you and your other brother and I did together. Was there anything you kind of took away from that as, wow, I want to do more of this?
Yes.
What? Tell me kind of how you felt whenever you saw the game play.
So I felt excited that there's possibilities that I could do that myself.
So tell me, okay, so you love programming. Python's kind of your favorite language here. You've done Java, and that was okay. And I know you've done some C# in the past. You've messed with Scratch. You've done a handful of things. So what have you done these things on? Tell me the devices you use to kind of program.
I use a thing called Pocket Chip.
Oh, tell me about that.
Okay, so you have a keyboard. The keyboard, you type in a wide range of all the letters. It's pretty much like the computer keyboard.
So what exactly is that? Can you tell me what is that device you have in your hand? It's
a programmable. It's pretty much like a huge chip with a screen on it. It's
kind
of a funny name.
I like that. So is it basically just like a microcomputer?
It's pretty much a microcomputer.
Okay. All right, look, can we see
in
the back? Oh, cool. And what's that down there on the bottom there?
That's a huge battery.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's a charging battery, so yeah.
So I'm looking at this right now, and I'm remembering back a long time ago. I would walk into my dad used to do backups for these computer systems, and I would walk into these rooms, and it'd just be noisy, and these fans would be blowing, and these spindles would be turning with this interesting sounding tape kind of thing going on. And what I eventually realized is that whole room was a computer.
Yeah, the huge computer.
Yeah, and now you are in your hand, you're holding a computer that's probably more powerful than the one that I was standing in a room with. That was probably 1,000,000 times as expensive as that little, that was $9, right? Is that right?
Sure.
About $9, and then the battery pack was like a couple. But the point is it's changed a lot. What do you think about that? When you think about me telling you, I used to play with computers that filled a room.
That sounds like the really old computers.
Are you calling me old? It is, but now you have a computer in your hand that's amazing that you can program on the fly and you can walk around with. Well, how does that to be an 11-year-old in this day and age, having that technology available to you? What would you say to other people other kids who don't think they could do it?
I would say there's a complete possibility that you could do more. And like we were talking about the turtle rush or whatever.
Yeah.
Then, like, I had no idea I could do that. But then whenever my dad showed me it, I thought there was 1,000,000 possibilities that could be done.
You've got a couple other computers in your lap there. Tell me about those.
Okay, so this is the Raspberry Pi. I sometimes do it for Scratch. Whenever I do Scratch, I sometimes use it for the Scratch. So I put in some wires right there and something so it connects to this terminal thing, like a computer or whatever.
Do you like that one as well? Which one do you, if you had to pick, which this is kind of unfair, but if you had to pick, which one do you like best?
I think that's fine.
Yeah, the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, I like the chip is pretty stinking awesome, but I have to agree with you.
This one's called an Uno. When you program this, you can program things like this. And so like the process is, it goes through these wires, makes the sound, like it takes in the sound, this is what it is. It takes in the sound, makes the volume, and then it'll dance on the LED player things.
So that's kind of cool. I like that. That's a neat project. In fact, it's even just kind of cool to look at. We do a lot of what do we call it? Prototyping here. We use breadboards, right?
Breadboard, which is this white thing.
Right. So why? So when it comes time to solder, is that why do we prototype things before we solder them?
So we don't mess it up.
Yeah. We mess things up.
Yeah.
Tell me about one thing that you messed up like really crazy bad. Maybe about the power source and the motor. Let's tell that.
That's what I was just thinking about. Okay, so I had this motor. I figured out like I've never ever messed with a motor before, and so I did a 9 volts. That 9 volt made it spin pretty good, yeah. And then I had an idea. What if more power would make it spin faster? And so I put it into one of the wall plugs, into like this special cord thing. I stuck both hands into there and spun it really fast. Didn't make it spark. Almost got the floor on fire. Almost killed me. Yeah.
So what did you? Did that make you want to stop, or did that make you want to learn more about?
It made me want to learn more.
Right. That's why your hair is the way it is right now.
Yeah.
Good. So then let's talk about that. Let's talk about failure. I fail often. There's a lot of projects that we do at home here that sometimes we fail often. And you've told me many times that one of the most difficult things you've done, or that you've learned through this whole thing, is what you call executing. You say finishing a project is really hard for you.
Yes.
tell me, kind of dig in on that. Why is finishing a project? Because you've got all these amazing tools. What happens?
I just don't know how to use them correctly. That's what mostly it is.
Tell me about that. So not being able to use them correctly. You learn. It's like there's a magazine in your hand.
Yeah.
That's one of your all-time favorites, right? It's a great magazine, and we learn through YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah.
Tell me, how do you learn?
I learn by reading books. I learn by using learning different chips. There's like different projects inside of this, so it's really cool. Like, it shows you different things, like what kind of chips and how to create things. That's what's really cool. Like, I created this vortex cannon thing using a trash bag, bungee cords, and duct tape.
When you fail, that often doesn't stop you. Some people it stops. So, like, I get frustrated sometimes. But when you fail on a project, let's say you've soldered it up and all of a sudden the thing doesn't work, and you're like, man, where's your head, and how do you get past that frustration?
I figured out what kind of bug is it, like what's wrong with it. And so I look at it, and sometimes the soldering is not touching the thing. I was just making something, and I believe I have a short. I don't know exactly. I have a switch, I have the battery source, I have the motor. So I started it all up, and I'm like, and I clicked it, and then it did the fan motor did not turn on. So that was a little bit frustrating, but then I thought, what did I do wrong with this? And so I looked at it for a little bit. Now, still in my head, I'm like, what did I do wrong with it? I believe it's a short, and so yeah, I'm gonna fix it as soon as I can.
Okay, so that you picked up on something that's really interesting, because a lot of developers do this, a lot of programmers do this. What we'll do is we get in the middle of a problem, and oftentimes we get called away, whether it's a meeting or it's dinner time or something, and that problem's still stuck in our head, so we just kind of grind on it a little bit for a smidge, and sometimes it's like the answer comes to us, right? Has that ever happened to you, where the answer just kind of hits you?
It's kind of funny, like it goes, like it's almost like you're looking for an asteroid, it never happens, and then when you pass by a window, then you see it go. Like it's like it's in your face.
Yeah. Do you find that's inescapable? Like, you cannot break away from thinking about that thing once you know a solution.
Yeah.
Right, and you have to go finish the project.
Yeah.
Right.
I figured it out at night, like whenever I lay down, and then like I'm going through it in my head. Then it pops up, and then I'm like, I want to go and fix it. And then I wake up in the morning. Then sometimes I forget it, but sometimes it sticks.
You talked about learning. You talked about kind of debugging. You talked about your favorite programming languages, some of your hardware devices that you love kind of messing with. All this stuff is really kind of accessible, meaning like it's easy to get, right? It's not hard to find. What would you tell an adult, someone who's older, who would love to kind of get into some of this stuff? Where would you tell them to start?
I would tell them to start looking at YouTube videos and looking up books like Python in the library. Like, literally, there are tons of books on that.
Okay, so just find some resources, right? Okay, so let's leave on this one thought. What's your next project?
I have to do a bunch of other projects before I get to one in particular, which I know other people have a hoverboard. They've already figured it out. It's really hard for some people. You can't get tons and tons of fans. So I want to create an easier way instead of having to use a lot of hardware.
So you're looking to do like a hoverboard kind of in the future, or you don't want to use fans, you want to use something like electromagnets or something like that?
Yeah, using mirrors.
Yeah. Oh, wow, okay. Well, cool. All right, Jonah, thank you so much for talking with me. It was fun, and I hope we get to see more projects from you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
All right.